Hey planner people, today I want to do a comparison between my new Moterm Hobonichi Weeks cover and my Gillio cover. So before I start, I just want to talk a little bit about Moterm. You may or you may not know that they have Hobonichi Weeks covers, and their leather has been kind of what I would consider the Achilles heel of their product. For me personally, you know, once you've had like a Gillio or a Vanderspec, it's very difficult to get used to leather that doesn't feel quite as nice. So obviously that's personal opinion. Some people don't have a problem with it. But I've always liked the actual design of the Moterm. I like the fact that they put in the double snap. They really do a great job with pockets. And so I really like their products. I just have always had trouble getting over the leather itself. Recently, Moterm came out with a new line of Hobonichi Weeks covers that's made from full grain leather. So I was super excited to try it. And I've already opened the box and stuff, so we're not doing an unboxing or anything today. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of compare the two. And so let's just get right into it. So this is the color Forest, I believe. So let me see if I can get this close so you can see. It looks very nice. You can tell this, let's see if I can find my pocket Moterm just to give you an idea of the previous leather. So this is just an old pocket planner I have lying around and have not used yet, and has been getting squished apparently in the box. But the leather isn't, it's a little bit shiny and I don't know, it's very processed feeling. It's not bad at all. It feels pretty nice, and it's very uniform. So if you like uniform, consistent pebbles, then this would be a great product for you. So if you like this look, they do make a Hobonichi Weeks cover, as well as many other types of covers, in this type of pebbled leather that's very consistent. Now, let's get back to the full grain. So this is it's actually pretty smooth, but you can definitely see there is some texture there. And you can really see it on the inside. And I love it. I love this pebbling here. And I mean, it looks so nice. I love this. This is beautiful. So, you know, I've always loved the fact that Moterm puts the double snap on their planners. And let me just tell you that my Vanderspec that I had custom made, I had a double snap put on. And if I use this snap here, look, can you see it? Maybe you can't. But just a little bit of the snap peeks out. So I'm kind of bummed out about that. But you see, Moterm's been doing this a while. So they've got this double snap thing down to a science. And you can't see any of the snap when you have it on the loosest setting. So let's take a look again on the inside. It's got 2 bookmarkers. It's got a big pocket, another big pocket, the outside facing pocket, and then 6 card pockets. Then on the other side, a big pocket where you would, you know, slip your Hobonichi Weeks, and another big pocket, and then a secretarial pocket. Elasticated pen loop. They've got their little Moterm logo here. The big back pocket. And that's pretty much it. And it feels super nice. I'm going to give it the old planner sniff. So hold on a second. Okay, so I'm going to say it doesn't smell bad. It smells like leather, but maybe with a hint of dye. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say it doesn't smell good as my Portland leather bag. Let's see if this one smells. I don't know. I think they're really not that much different as far as smell. There's not like a horrible chemical smell coming off of this thing. Just maybe, I mean, it definitely smells like leather, but I think honestly, the more coloring and more dyes you have, the more you get kind of a different smell. Does that make sense? So anyway, let's get into the comparison. So right away, just sitting here, I feel like these two are not quite the same size. So if I line them up like this, you can see the Gillio is just a hair wider. I mean, really not much. So let's see if I can do that so that's obvious on camera. There you go. So the Gillio is a little wider. I would say the strap seems to be really, really close. But again, let's see here. I think it looks to me like the Gillio might be a smidge longer, but they're about neck and neck when it comes to the width. So, interesting. Okay. Now, obviously, Moterm has the double snap. Let's look at the outside stitching. So, on the Gillio, they did a really nice job with the stitching. It's very straight. I mean, the stitches go all the way to the end. And it's very close to the edge. So, I do like the stitching on the Gillio. Let's look at the Moterm. And then I think their stitching looks pretty darn good too. I might see a hint of a track here, like when they sew it, there's like a foot that guides the needle. So I do see just a hint of it, but boy, you really have to look at it to see that. And I feel like they did a pretty good job around the corners. The stitching is straight and it's pretty close to the edge. So it looks nice. And the stitching matches really nice. So let's take a peek again at the Gillio. There's no line from the machine, but all right. Next, let's go on the inside. So these pockets are really, really close to being the same. And I'm sorry, it's very hard to see this dark green. But I didn't want to get another brown, so I wanted to go with something different. I'd say the only difference is, you know, the Gillio has the scoop, whereas Moterm's is straight across. Otherwise, see, 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the Gillio has one extra pocket, and then the bottom pocket is scooped. But otherwise, the outward facing pocket, there's, oh, actually Moterm has, this one on the side here on the Gillio actually is just a seam. So it's only got one pocket on this side, and this is, you know, some people would put their front cover in there. I don't carry mine that way, but, and on this one, both of these are pockets. So they get a bonus for that. That's really nice. Let's take a look at the sewing on the pockets. Okay, so if we look at the Gillio, you know, they're sewn very nicely. So there is not stitching here, but it's, I don't know what they've done to this. It looks like it's been folded, yeah, it's been folded over and really mashed down so it's nice and flat. I don't know if there's such a thing as an iron for leather, but it's very nicely flush. So I don't have an issue with any of the stitching on the inside of the Gillio. Now let's look at the Moterm. And they did the same thing. They pretty much have this folded over and it's just flattened down very well. So I don't know, can you see that? And they both have just some type of material on the inside that is not leather on the inside of the pockets, which is fine because I feel like leather would add to the bulkiness of this. So I kind of appreciate that. Let's look at the bookmarks. So Gillio has 2 and they're round on the end. And Moterm has 2, and they are pretty much like a rectangle. So that's just, I don't really have a preference. They appear to be about the same length. Again, the planners themselves are almost identical in height. The Moterm is, well, actually, they are identical in height. Yes, they are. Let's lay them out and see if I still think one's wider than the other. Yes, the Gillio is wider, and you can, it's more obvious when you lay them this way because when they're flattened out, you can see the Gillio has that much extra space. So the Moterm is a little narrower. Let's see, what should we look at next? So you'll notice that, of course, the Gillio has a zipper. And to be honest with you, the only thing I ever use this for is to keep the little Gillio tags. So I don't put like change or anything in there, or, I mean, I probably would put stickers or something in there potentially, but for the most part, it doesn't bother me that this doesn't have a zipper. But if that's important to you, that's something to keep in mind. So instead of having a zipper, you've actually got an extra full-length pocket here. And then they both have the secretarial pocket. The one on the Moterm angles down a little bit. Let's see if I can put them next to each other. So, yeah. So the Moterm has a little bit of an angle to the top of the pocket. And I think it looks nice. I like the Gillio too. So I would say that's a draw. Let's see, the pen loop. Now, I don't know if this is coming up on camera as obvious as it is here, but you can definitely tell whose pen loop is more generous. Okay, and it's not the Gillio. So let's just try some pens out here. Let's see, let's try this Zig color marker. Zig dot marker to be exact. And is it gonna go in? Ugh. Okay, I can get it in there, but it was not, it didn't go in there very easily. So let's try the Moterm. I really don't want the cover to come off while it's going through there. Uh-oh. I gotta be careful. I felt like I was gonna pop this off of here, but... All right, let's try the Moterm. Oh, look at that. Whoop, right in there. So I gotta give it to Moterm on this one. They got the better pen loop. Unless you're carrying a super, super skinny pen. Let's see what a normal size pen. Let's just take the Gillio pen. And if you put the Gillio pen in here, you know, you do still have to push pretty good. And that's a normal size pen, in my opinion. Or maybe this is a little too fat. Here, let's try this one. This is a Cocoa Daisy pen. And I'm going to close it and... Okay, that's the average size pen, and it fits in there just fine. So if you're carrying something that's like your normal size pen, you're not going to have a problem with the Gillio. This pen feels like it's swimming in the Moterm pen loop. So, but fortunately, you can take your pen clip and hook it on so it doesn't get lost. So I'm going to say that boils down to personal preference, how you, according to which pen you carry. I usually carry this friction pen. And that fits in there. It's a snug fit, but it's not going to go anywhere. And then into the Moterm it goes, just easy peasy. So, nice. Well, moving on here, the back. Let me snap that. Okay, you can see that these are both stitched in almost the identical manner. There is a square stitched here, or actually a rectangle, to anchor it a little bit more securely. The rectangle on the Gillio is just a little bit wider. Other than that, it looks pretty close. You know, it's the same concept. Oh, and I should mention that both of the pen loops are elasticated. Finally, let's look at the back pocket. So, it has a pocket, and I can't tell if this is leather or if this is some kind of vinyl type material. I honestly don't know. So I can't really judge. But this is definitely like nylon. And quite frankly, I don't care. So, what else am I going to talk about? Let's get my actual Hobonichi Weeks out and see what it looks like. So typically I like to just slide my weeks into the secretarial pocket because I'm lazy. And then I just go like that. But for the sake of the video, let's say we want to slide it in there. I've got a cover on cover, so I do got to wiggle it a little bit. And there you go. Nice as you please, but you can see there's a lot of room there. So I guess if you have tabs on your Hobonichi Weeks, this would be a good thing. And also gives you plenty of room for your pen, so your pen isn't squishing up your pages. So let's try the Moterm. Again, I would probably carry it like this. Look at that. That is so nice. Now let's see. This is like the drum roll part here. Oh, look at how nice that fits. Oh my gosh, did you see that? It just slid in there so easy. Okay, I have a confession to make. I like the narrowness of the Moterm better than I like this. I know that's a terrible thing to say because I'm a Gillio fangirl, but I like the slimmer profile of the Moterm. And I love how that just slid in there so easy. So, yeah, I love that. So, let's talk about price. Now, I might have to correct myself if I make a mistake. I will put it up on the screen, but for the most part, a Gillio, by the time you pay shipping from Belgium, depending on whether you get buzz shipping, like I usually do, you're talking about $300. This is $67. Yes, you heard that right. Not 167. It was 67. Okay? And I paid, because it's so reasonable, I paid the extra to get it shipped really, really fast from AliExpress. So it's like 20 bucks extra to have it shipped by DHL. So instead of waiting a month for it, I got it in like a week. Now, I wouldn't do that all the time, but I was just really excited to try it out. But that is an amazing price for this awesome cover. I just am so impressed with this. If you like, now I like these wrinkly, pebbly looking textured leathers. But also, I mean, this one doesn't have a lot, but this is full grain leather. So if you bought one and I bought one might have pebbles, one might not have pebbles. It's a natural product, so every hide is going to be different. Every dye lot is going to be different. And so you might get wrinkles, you might get pebbles, what we sometimes like would refer to as fat rolls. If you have ever been involved in the Chic Sparrow TN world, you know they talk about fat rolls all the time, where you get these striations in the leather that are really pretty. So if you are not okay with something that might not be cookie cutter looking, this is not something you should buy. If you're okay with a more natural product that has pebbles, and another thing you can see here is there's pebbles here, smooth here, pebbles, smoother, smoother, pebbles, pebbles. So I don't mind that, and actually I'm really impressed that the color is consistent, because I have gotten Gillios where the pockets were not a consistent color. And where I find that the most is on the olive green, which I absolutely love olive green, but I had to sell my olive green because I just couldn't deal with that. It looked like it came from different lots, so they were really different colors. That's, again, just a personal preference. I don't mind the variation in texture, but I prefer the color to be more uniform. And they did a beautiful job. I'm really happy with this. So what is the status now of these? I believe these are all sold out. I'd have to check the website. They came out with several colors. They have one that's called Apricot. That's really beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the Gillio Undyed. I think this one started out as a gold, but you know, they patina and become brown after a while. But there's an apricot, there's a caramel, there's just a variety of colors. And there's a red one. It just looks gorgeous. They did limit us to one cover per person, with this initial release because they wanted as many people as possible to get a chance to get one, which is nice and also frustrating because I would have bought more than one. But I could understand why they did that. And now it'll be in more people's hands and more people will get the word out and be excited. And next time they restock, hopefully I'll get another color. But what I'm anticipating is Moterm going through their entire line. Like maybe they'll come out with pocket rings and personal rings and, you know, like Hobonichi covers for, you know, just folio type for like the cousin. Now, I don't know that for sure. I don't have any insider information with Moterm, but just going by how they go through their, you know, their inventory and they kind of update makes me think that they'll do the same now with this new leather. And I'm here for it because when they come out with Personal Luxe and this leather, it's going to be mine. I'll get it. And I wouldn't mind picking up a couple more of these covers for the Hobonichi Weeks because these are great. Now, it does make me start to feel pretty foolish for spending so much money on these. But this one now is so darn nice. So I hope this color is showing up because it's so nice. I've been trying to snag a green Gillio Slim Appunto. Sorry, I should have mentioned that's what this is called. I don't know if I did or not. This would be an Appunto Slim, I guess it's called. And you can do other things with this. I know there's a Filofax that you can buy that has like it's like a zip around and it comes with a removable little plastic thing with rings on it. So people can take it out if they don't want it to be a ring planner. I've seen people put that in here. I've seen people cut down a Stology and put in here, but mostly this is used for the Hobonichi Weeks, which is my everyday carry. But I definitely want more of these. Those are so nice. And you know what? I just discovered I have this black spot on my Gillio. And I'm like, what the hell did I do to it? You know, I just throw it in my bag and stuff. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff that bothers you when you spend $300 on a cover. Sorry if you can hear those sirens. But if you have a cover that costs $67 and you throw it in your bag and it gets some, like a spot of ink on it, you're not going to cry over it, you know? It's just, I'm just really impressed by this. And I'm so glad they really hit it out of the park with this higher quality leather. And I was actually expecting the price to be higher than it was. I was thinking, you know, with full grain leather that they might go like $90. So when I saw it was $67, I was like, yes. And so it was probably a good thing that they limited people to one, because I think there are a lot of us that would have been like, okay, I'm going to take 3 of these now. So, but anyway, very, very impressed. And I hope that they restock these soon, because I think there's a lot of people that are going to be like me and thinking, well, I like this so much, I'd like another one. Or there's people that didn't have a chance to get the first batch. So I really hope that they get these out in the not too distant future. So, but I think that's all I have to say. I'm not dissing my Gillio, but listen, it's there's getting to be probably less of a chance that I'm going to spend this much money on another Hobonichi Weeks cover when I could pick up something like this for $67. So that's all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Oh, I should mention too, they did send a free keychain with this purchase, which I thought was nice. It was a random color, so I thought that was nice. It's stamped with their name, and it's got a rivet here, and it's kind of like that antique brass looking material. So I thought it was really nice of them to send that. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Until next time, bye.